Hey guys, welcome back to another long overdue video. This might be a longer one than any before as I will be connecting some important dots here. I didn't want to split this video in two, so I strongly urge you to watch the whole thing to the end. Let me just say that it takes a lot of my time to make content like this, and I would greatly appreciate your support by hitting the subscribe button so I can bring you more content like this. With that out of the way, let's get into it. So, I still have a lot of speculation and theories regarding the storyline, and for some of them nothing has come to light, as yet. This means that either I am wrong about some of those things, or they have simply not been revealed yet. For this video I'm going to be jumping around the story timeline a little bit to explain some things about the upcoming Season 5. I may include one or two things that people seem to have never noticed at all. Things that I picked up but never got to talking about when Season 3 launched. Things that tie in with the storyline going forward. We will skim over how Black Ops Cold War, the Red Doors, the Numbers program, Russell Adler, Stitch and so on are all dots that connect. Red Doors. So first off, the Red Doors. Did you know that before Black Ops Cold War even launched, the Red Door was also the title of the closed internal alpha build for Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War? Kind of like how Slipstream is the codename for the next expected Call of Duty Vanguard. Now, if Red Doors are so significant that it is even used as the underwraps codename for the game, then surely the story for it all must have been pretty well thought out at the time of Cold War's launch already, don't you think? To point this out further, just in case you don't remember, here is the Black Ops Cold War reveal trailer that was released prior to the game's launch. Notice the red doors in the trailer? The way the floor breaks away and the viewer falling to yet another door is the way I believe they were trying to point out how these doors can be found in multiple places and or that they will allow you to travel to other places or buildings. In addition to that, the moment someone in the trailer walks through the door, white noise from a TV screen is shown. Now, here's a reminder what it looks like when you go through a red door in Verdansk. Surely you have all seen this by now, but I want you to take notice of the olden chair and the screens that now only show white noise as well as a screen showing a test signal image. Remember this, I will bring it up later again. As you can see, almost none of this is really a secret. It has all been in front of our eyes since the trailer of this game that launched last year, November 2020 already. I'm telling you this story was thought out so far in advance. I'm convinced the storyline was planned out since before Warzone and Cold War intertwined, which happened when Cold War launched. Stitch's comments and his master plan. Okay, let's jump ahead to the end of Season 2 and start of Season 3 for a second. During the cinematic where the nuke strike gets reversed and the clock goes from year 2021 to 1984. The camera dives down into the hospital's roof, over some tables and then through a red door. At this point Stitch says, "I have no idea what's coming." First off, I want to say that absolutely everyone was going crazy over the fact that Stitch said this. But at that point when I saw the cinematic, I immediately remembered what everyone seems to have missed, which is that Stitch had said this before. He said this back in Season 1 already, the first time with the Season 1 gameplay trailer.
I have no idea what's coming.
Of course I was going mental at that stage trying to just figure out what exactly his plan was.
We are in control.
Adler and his team is seen infiltrating Mall at the Pines to find dozens of drums of Nova 6. Adler then says that Stitch is making Nova 6 again right before Stitch and his cronies overwhelm Adler and his team.
What the hell? He's manufacturing Nova 6 again.
This is of course where Stitch abducts Adler. At this point everyone was tricked into thinking that Nova 6 is basically Stitch's entire master plan.
Kill the rest. Adler is mine.
But then along came Season 2 where Naga came into the picture. During this Season 2 cinematic trailer, Stitch goes and says the following to Naga over the radio.
Stitch, the rats are here. Adler's secure and headed to you in Verdansk.
Good.
Make them believe we care about the Nova 6 supply lines.
Most people probably thought that Stitch and his Nova 6 were the real threat. Until the Season 2 outro cinematic. Frank Woods, Carla Rivas, Terrell Wolfe and others went on a rescue mission to get Adler back. They reach POI too late and do not find Adler, although they do realize at this point that the Nova 6 threat was only a distraction.
It was BS.
It means that Stitch has a bigger plan up his sleeve.
We chased every lead. Showed them the same courtesy they showed Adler. Intel points to Verdansk.
The question is, what exactly was Stitch doing with Adler? The numbers program. Let me quickly jump back into that Season 2 outro cinematic. I want you to notice what the room looks like when they say that Adler was here. Right here. Let me show you a single frame.
Adler had been there.
Do you see the room? Okay, now let's go back again to the later Season 3 cinematic I showed earlier, where Verdansk goes back in time to 1984, to this part right here. 3 things I'd like to point out here. 1. The photo. 2. The red door. 3. The data tapes. The photo. Do you notice how this is exactly the location that Frank and the team found during Adler's rescue operation? And let me bring that photo up to the screen. You see that? Exact same place, right? Keep in mind that this cinematic played when the Hunt for Adler event also launched. Which means Adler was not found yet at this point. Now remember when we talked about the red doors earlier in the video when I asked you to take notice of the Olden chair and the screens that show white noise as well as a screen showing a test signal image? I said I would bring it up again? This is the same kind of room. So again I ask what you will probably hear me ask a few more times during this video. What do you think Stitch was doing to Adler? In addition, did you notice that in recent weeks when going through a red door, you would hear dialogue from Stitch? I made a small clip about this as well that you can check out on my TikTok. The link is in the description. The red door. I spoke about this at the beginning of this video, but something I neglected to mention, purely because it fits more appropriately with the numbers program topic, is that when the camera moves through this red door you also see the numbers all over the screen, which is a reference to Nikita Dragovich's numbers program. I am sure you are well aware by now that this also happens in-game when going through a red door. The last one here is the data tapes. When I saw these on the table the first time back in April, I realized something. While the tape labels cannot be seen here, I recognized them from somewhere and immediately knew they were significant in some way. And then it hit me. During Black Ops Cold War loading into game, there is usually cinematic animations playing in the background, and that was where I saw tapes like these. In fact, they were the exact same tapes. Look at the label on the tapes. I bet that label looks familiar to you now that Season 5 has been announced? Maybe not? Okay, let me explain further. Translated, that label says, Dragovich Program. As in the numbers program that Nikita Dragovich developed and used to brainwash Alex Mason in Black Ops 1. Think back a bit. When Season 3 launched, the cinematic trailer showed the new operator Wraith stealing exactly those data tapes for Stitch, from a facility located up on Mount Yamantau, before blowing the facility up when they made a run for it. During their escape she informed Stitch that they have the numbers data.
You have the package.
We have the numbers data.
Stitch of course had a very indicative response.
Moscow will blame the Americans for Yamantau, and our work with Adler is almost done. We can proceed. What Dragovich only managed with a single subject, we shall do to entire nations. What we do in Verdansk will pave the way for the rise of Greater Russia.
Are you getting where I am headed with this yet? It gets better. So next came the Season 3 Reloaded cinematic during which Stitch and his top cronies witness footage of Frank Woods rescuing Russell Adler. Stitch then comments that it doesn't matter because his work with Adler is done.
They rescued Adler faster than predicted. No matter, our work with him is done.
So, we move forward.
Not yet. Their satellites are interfering with our broadcast. The Verdansk test subjects are in place, but we're not getting through.
Our man in South Africa is standing by.
Agreed. All the pieces are in play. Make the call.
At this point it is obviously clear that Stitch intends to broadcast Dragovich's numbers program to numerous test subjects in Verdansk and or other locations. Now for a third time I will state my question. What do you think Stitch was doing to Adler? Season 4 launches and in the cinematic trailer we can see Jackal taking care of the satellite issue.
I have a problem. You fix it.
You don't end up like your colleagues. The jump seat constellation is broadcasting on frequencies I need cleared. You are going to deorbit them.
Yes.
The satellites are deorbited with some crashing into Verdansk, and some crashing into Algeria. During the battle scene in Algeria, Adler runs ahead of his squad to grab a data recorder from the crashed satellite, only to hide it and tell his squad it must have been destroyed when the satellite made entry. When I saw this I had to wonder why he hid this from his squad, since it appeared that this was the purpose of heading out there in the first place. I remember thinking, what the hell is up with Adler?
Did we get the data recorder?
No. Must have been destroyed on re-entry. You don't get the war we're fighting, do you? Stitch is capable of anything. Secure the site.
Since this happened, nobody has seen or heard about this data recorder again. Or so you might think. The very short Season 4 outro cinematic shows a duffel bag at a park bench waiting to be picked up by another enemy operator working with Stitch, namely Kitsune. Kitsune is a hacker of sorts and she is the one to breach the listening station, Teufelsberg, and upload the numbers program for broadcasting purposes. In the Season 5 cinematic trailer, Kitsune is on location performing the upload, with Frank Woods and his squad en route to the Teufelsberg listening station. The first thing I noticed, that bothered me, was the drive she had on the table, which despite a small shape difference, looked a lot like the data recorder that Adler took from the satellite crash site.
Breaching the last firewall now.
Get it done. Reinforcements are already inbound.
Mayday! Mayday! Echelon station has fallen! Assailants unknown! LZ will be high.
Copy that. We're ready.
During her upload you can see on the laptop screen the same name as seen on the data tapes earlier on Dragovich program. She then starts the upload. Data tapes are also activated during this process.
Take 3, circle left. On me.
Let's do this.
By the time Frank and his squad gets to her, she had already triggered an additional local transmission which affects majority of Frank's squad, turning them against him.
On your knees! Fucking now!
This is Dragovich's numbers program at play.
Bang, bang.
Not all of them are affected though. Frank and unaffected team members fight to escape with their lives. Stitch confirms with Kitsune that the broadcast is now live.
Told you it would be easy. Headed home.
Finally, we have also seen the double agent multiplayer game mode coming to Season 5.
You're a double agent. Operate in the shadows. Eliminate the enemy. Right, I got the bomb down.
In this game mode trailer it appears that some players would be double agents.
You are an operative. Protect your investigators and eliminate all double agents. Yo, guys, who is shooting over there?
Park is way suspicious.
This ties in exactly with the numbers program. It is pretty much what we saw happen when Kitsune transmitted that local program and Frank's squad members turned on him. I suspect this will be similar to the Infected multiplayer game mode in the sense that the game will tell you if you are a double agent or not when the match starts. If you are not, I suppose you will have to be extremely careful of your teammates while also going for the mission objective. To conclude this video, I want to reiterate that the numbers program, the Verdansk test subjects, the double agent game mode and Adler all tie together. My personal opinion is that Adler may currently be a double agent. Compromised. And nobody realizes it yet. If the way I am connecting all these dots are correct, then I take my hat off to the developing teams. That's it for this video guys. Thank you immensely for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button so I can bring more content like this. Again, it takes a lot of my time to do this and your support would be appreciated. Until next time, stay frosty.